Okay, so in this box we've got the universal drop down ASA. It's a new product, it's a very useful product, and we're going to show you how to fit it. So in the box you get the drop down part, and you get the part to connect to your ASA, you get a handy Allen key to fit it. You've got Storm. I'm going to show you how to fit it to this. So basically, air through ASA, pretty similar on all markers out there. I'm just going to use a little bit of grease on the threads that are going into the ASA. Liberally apply. Right, okay, so that's hand tight. And in the back of this, it's actually a torque key fitting, but we're using a 3/16 Allen key or hex key. Wherever you may be, just pinch it up with that. Then, what you want to do is you just push, it's just a push fit. So you've got 4 grub screws there. So once you want to just back those out a little bit so there's nothing in there, and then simply push it on you go. There we go, and that's on pretty tight. Okay, that is on pretty tight, but we want to tighten those grub screws up. And one thing I would recommend is use a little bit of blue Loctite. Don't want anything too hard. Alright. And put a little bit of Loctite on the grub screws and just screw those in. Obviously with a paintball gun, anything with grub screws, vibration, it's not likely to, but they can sort of rattle them out like your granny's teeth, so worth using some Loctite. Right, another thing we're going to show you about this is they use, if you're going with a 13 CI buttstock, they use the hinge guide bar, which is what you find on most Tiberius markers and on the new Takamo Thunderbolt. Okay, one thing I didn't mention before is make sure these grub screws are fully tightened, and you want this in the right position. Could do with smaller fingers really.
Massive hands.
Yeah. Hand like spades.
And how many grub screws are there?
There's 4.
4.
As previously mentioned.
There you are. It's always worth being sure in it.
So when you feel them pinching up, that's when you know it's tight enough. Okay, so that's on there. Grab this tank. Right, so we've got the tank on. We've got our guide bar on. We're going to fit our stock. I'm going to use TCA stock because I like those. Now, if you haven't got one of these, then what you won't know is that it's a very tight fit. So it's a very secure fit on the tank, so you get no movement. So it's not like these, which is the SCA stock, which is much easier to fit, but obviously when it's on there, there's movement. So similar to the Magpul stocks, if you've ever had one of those fitted to a remote line adapter, you basically got to put something in there, drag it all the way down. Just going to move down the floor here. And then you push it on there. Take that off. Stocks fitted. So if you've never come across this, you've never had a system with the tank coming out the back, you might be wondering why do I want to do that? Well, the big reason is, I'll grab my goggles, with it dropped down by that inch, it allows you to get behind your gun and sight properly down the gun. With this, you've got nothing like the same drop off. This is a hurricane kit. So you try and sight down the gun, and it's almost impossible without putting a riser on there. So that's the reason for it. Very simple to fit, relatively inexpensive, and be a really good feature on your gun if you've got a mag fed like this.
And just to confirm, it's metal, isn't it?
Yes, it is metal. Yeah, it is metal.
Nice matte finish on it.
Yeah. You will. That is. Just reiterate. That is the only guide bar you'll be able to use with 13 sight tank. Any remote line without from stock, similar to this, will fit in there no problem.
Okay, so you could fit that and then run a remote line off it
You can do that.
around to your tactical vest,
You can.
rather than being sort of restrained by the 13 CI tank.
Okay. Thank you.